Hi guys, I'm back with a new video. Today's video is going to be how I make my wigs. I used to make wigs and wear them all the time back in the day, but I haven't done it in a while, so I thought I would go ahead and pop the camera on and show you how this works. The hair I'm featuring today is by a company called LONGQI HAIR. They were kind enough to send me 3 bundles in a closure. I got 2 16 inches here and an 18 inch along with a 14 inch closure 4x4. And this is in their Brazilian body wave. As you can see, the hair is super light and super bouncy and super shiny. So I am excited to see how this is going to turn out. So because I plan on coloring this wig in the future, I'm going to be sewing it today. I picked up a dome mesh cap from my local beauty supply store, but I think it cost about $4. And I'm going to be using needle and thread, of course. I'll be using nylon thread, which I feel works a lot better for sew-ins because you don't have as much bulkiness, and I'm able to get a much tighter stitch. So yeah, I'm gonna start by putting my dome mesh cap onto my styrofoam head here, which I have customized to my head measurements. So starting with one side of the closure, I'm going to line it up with the end of the mesh cap about 1/8 of an inch past that line. And then I'm going to start sewing up the ends all the way up to the middle. Once I get to the middle, then I'm going to switch to the other side using a new needle and thread, and I'm going to do the exact same thing to the other side. Once the 2 needles meet in the middle, I'm going to tie it off. And that is what the closure looks like on the cap. It is nice and snug and tight, and it is not going anywhere. So moving on to the wefts, I'm starting with the 18 inch in the back. I'm going to be doubling up my wefts until I get closer to the top. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the loose ends of the weft and I'm going to sew the loose ends together. Once those have been tied off and secured, I'm going to start sewing them on the cap. I always start about 1 inch above the actual cap line because I don't like the feel of the wefts on my skin. So I want to make sure that when I put the cap on, it is nice and snug. And also when you sew onto the elastic band, a lot of times you use the elasticity of the band. So to avoid doing that, I want to make sure that I am sewing as close to the mesh cap as possible. So I'm just going to begin sewing all the way around in a horizontal fashion, and I don't like to cut my weft, so I'm going to show you how I do my fold over method. And I hope you guys can really see this because I had a hard time getting the right camera angles. But essentially I'm just going to, when I get to the ends, I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go over the top of the fold and go right through the middle of the fold. So over the top and through the middle, and then back into the cap. And then making sure that I pull all the way up, not to the side, not down. I'm pulling all the way up and holding it taut and firm. I'm going to pull it up and it's going to lock that fold into place and make it super flat. So once I've gotten the folded over and locked into place, I'm going to sew that fold 2 more times, and then I'm going to proceed to sewing back to the other side. So now I've gotten closer to the top of the wig, and to still avoid having to cut the wefts, I'm going to single it up by just cutting this weft in one place. So now I have a single weft that I can now fold over and keep on sewing. Again, showing you that fold over method again. I went over, through the middle, and through the cap. And now we have a flat fold. I want to quickly mention that I only used 2 1/4 wefts of the bundles. I didn't even use all 3 of them because I didn't want this to be a very big style. I noticed that when I use 3 in a closure, it ends up being really, really bulky. So I was able to get 2 1/4 in there, and I probably, if I had spaced it out more, I probably could have only did 2 in the closure. So yeah, this is what everything looks like once I'm done sewing. Get you a look at what the inside looks like and how secure everything looks. And now I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and trim off the mesh cap underneath the lace. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set the closure so that it lays flatter. I'm going to put a little bit of mousse on it, and I will link what this is in the description below. But yeah, I'm going to put some mousse on it, and then I'm going to flip the wig inside out, and I'm going to place it back on my mannequin head, and I'm going to let that sit overnight so that it can set. So here we are the next day, and before I take it off the mannequin head, I'm going to go ahead and tint the lace. I don't really feel like bleaching the knots right now because I know I'm going to color it later. But I'm just going to tint the lace with a little bit of foundation. And then I'm going to set the foundation with some setting powder. Now, as you can see, lace is nice and tinted. I can make this work until I actually do some coloring on it. So now I'm going to pop this baby back on the mannequin head, and I'm going to proceed to styling. As you know, this is a virgin hair unit, so I want to make sure I'm using heat protectant when I am caring for my wigs and styling them. So I'm just going to put some really soft wand curls in it all the way around the unit. I'm going to pin those curls into place and let the unit cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes before I take the clips out. So here's what it looks like, all curled up and clipped. So here's what she's looking like, nicely curled, and we are going to go ahead and pop this baby on and see if we can get her to work. Because I have custom measured my mannequin head, this wig is going to fit pretty snug and pretty tight, so I'm not going to sew any clips into it or combs into it because I know it's not really going to go anywhere. I can just pin the sides of it down. So I'm going to shift her to a side part, lock in the back there, and I'm going to just brush down the sides. So I'm going to brush out the curls a little bit. And as you can see, this hair is super, super bouncy and super soft. I cannot tell you how soft this is. Like, it's like butter. So yeah, I'm gonna work with her to get the shape I'm going for, and here is the completed look. She is gorgeous. Look at that hair. It is absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, that's it. That's how I make my wigs and how I style them. Thank you again to LONGQI Hair for providing the hair for this video. In an upcoming video, I will be coloring this wig, so make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss my next upload. Do me a favor and hit that like button on your way out, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Love you. Bye.